Hey, this is Aaron with Scalability, and this is Freedom Fridays. From now on, for all of 2024 and here out, we are going to be going live every Friday at noon Central Standard Time so that I can give you strategy and tips and tricks to get the most out of scalability and get you moving the fastest way to money in your business, whatever business that is. Inside the platform, we have training, we have help, we have live chat for all the techie type of stuff. But I know a lot of people get stuck on, how do I use this in my business? What do I do with this, with what I have going on? And so I believe God created for 6 days and then he set everything on autopilot so he could spend the rest of his time in relationship with us. And then I say, how do we do that the same? How do we do that with our businesses? And so Freedom Fridays are going to be a lot of answering questions, bringing you in. What are you working on? How can I help you put it in a system, a process that moves a customer journey, right? That brings your people in and how we move them through. And then some of it will be me teaching something. Some of it will be interviews with other people who've done it. And some of it will be live Q&A and actually working through it. So today we've got a few people in the back room that are going to come in and we're going to talk about a book. If you've got a free book or a paid book, and how you can deliver that, the benefits of listing it on Amazon, a PDF, free plus shipping. And we're just going to kind of talk through that. And I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like to brainstorm that process, and then how you can leverage scalability to automate as much as humanly possible. Okay, so that's what we're going to go over today. These are going to be a lot more around strategy. So when you guys have questions and you can't get them answered, or let's say you need more of a coach, that's what Freedom Fridays are for. As a paid scalability member, you get to join these backstage and actually live interact. So like today, people are going to come in here in just a minute and we're just going to brainstorm their actual business and what they have going on so they can learn the strategy through it. I came from 5 years of one-on-one coaching. My desire is to help kingdom-minded entrepreneurs multiply the business God gave them without denying the ministry God gave them. And I didn't feel like I could do that by just selling software and saying good luck. So I bring in the strategy coaching on Freedom Fridays so that I can help you actually figure it out and win instead of just getting stuck in tech and running circles around trying to make all that stuff work. So let's bring in a few people that are here and then we can just talk it out. So Inger, we've already started. We've been live or we've been backstage for a little bit. And Inger is launching a book. Crystal has a book. And so I want to talk about how we can deliver those books and the benefits of why. So Inger, tell me what you just said before we went live. You have a book, and just ask the question you had again.
Yeah. Well, I have written two books before, and they are found on Amazon. And now I'm launching my new book that is a devotional, and it is going to be an ebook. The others they are hardcover and softcover. So I was wondering what should be the best way to do it, to have a PDF file on my website that I don't have yet, or should it be a Kindle book through Amazon? What will be the best solution?
Yep. Okay. Good question. So she has a book. What's the best way to deliver it? Essentially, right? I look at everything and I say, how do we use systems and automation to automate as much as humanly possible so it takes the least amount of time for us? So if you have a physical book, most people, the first stage is they write a book and they publish it on Amazon, and then people can order it from Amazon. That's great. Your book's out there for the world to get. So that's like first step. But as you go deeper into your business, the whole idea behind a business is building an email list so that you can market back to those people with other products, or the same products, right? If somebody goes and views your book on Amazon and buys your book, Amazon has the customer information. Amazon sends your book to them. Amazon keeps most of the money, and then Amazon sends you your portion. You have no control over the customer at all, right? So we're not actually building a business list that we can, we're not building a list of emails or contacts that we can market back to. So if your business, like if you got cut off of Amazon, you have no customer information, you can't follow up with them, you can't get reviews unless they just put it on Amazon.
Mm.
So that's the reason a lot of people will create their own website or their own thing. But then what's the incentive for somebody to come and get it from you on your website for 20 bucks, or just go to Amazon and get it for 20 bucks and they have it in 3 days, right? Because most people are like, well, I'm not going to put it on Amazon. You got to come over here. And so with a physical book, I'm going to talk physical book first. Just looking at a physical book, the most important thing you can be doing with your business, any business, but the book, is developing that email list. And so with Amazon, you can't build an email list. On your own website, you can. Now, if it's $15 on your website and it's $15 on Amazon, people are typically going to generate to Amazon because that's where the addiction's been created. That's where marketing's being done and tons of traffic's going to Amazon. So it's the first thing people think. That's
Yeah.
good. We want them to go to Amazon. We want them to buy the book for 15 bucks. Now, why would we want to, or how would we incentivize them to come to your website and buy it from you? So this is where a lot of people, you'll see a free plus shipping book offer. And so if you self-publish on Amazon, you can also buy the book as the author from Amazon for a couple bucks. A lot of times you can buy the physical book for like $2 or $2.50 if it's your book, you're the author. And then Amazon can ship pretty much anywhere for $3 to $5. It seems like inside the United States. I know, Inger, you're outside the US, but inside of the US, a lot of times they can ship pretty much anywhere for $3 to $5 on a book. So if you, the author, logged into Amazon and ordered the book and had it shipped to you, it would only cost you $5 or $6, right? And so a lot of people use this as what's called a self-liquidating offer, or an offer that draws people in to get their name and email so you can follow back up with them to sell them other stuff. So you might say, hey, you might do a live podcast or make posts and say, hey, my book's live. You can order on Amazon, but you can click the link below and get the book free. Just cover the shipping and handling. And that brings people to your website. You set the shipping and handling for like $6.99 or $7.99 or something like that. Okay. That covers you logging into Amazon, buying the book for $2, $2.50, and then shipping it not to you, but shipping it directly to the person who orders it. But now you have the name, phone number, mailing address for the person that ordered the book. So what happens is you got a name, phone number, email, and a mailing address for a customer who now has your book, and you're building a list, and you can now contact that person anytime you want. You can say, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, how's everything going, blah, blah, blah. And your next book comes out, you can market directly to that person. On Amazon, you couldn't. It was just gone.
Yeah.
So what happens too is if you sell it for $15 on Amazon, you end up making about $3 to $5 as your cut, right? So you get $3 to $5 for the book and you have no customer. Or if you do it this way and say, click the link below, I'll give you the book for free, just cover the $6.99 shipping and handling. They come, they get the book. Now you have the customer information and you just log into Amazon and you have Amazon ship the book directly to the customer. So you say, I'm Aaron, I'm the author. I order the book for $2.50 and I just changed the mailing address to the customer. And so Amazon will still fulfill and send it directly to the customer, and you have the email and the contact information. And that's how you can build your list. Now you can just sell it for $15 on your website as well, but what's the incentive to come to your website and wait for you to get it as opposed to directly from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
It just makes you could even say, hey, it's listed for $19.99 on Amazon. Click here and get it for 50% off, plus shipping and handling if you want. Essentially, a self-liquidating offer is one that covers the cost. So if it costs you $2.50 to order it and $4 to ship it, you're looking at $6.50 to order and ship. So if you charge $6.99, you didn't really make any money, but you broke even, self-liquidating, right? If they come get the book, it covers the cost of me to get them the book. and then you mark it back with other stuff. So there's multiple ways to do that, but the physical book I like, and eventually in the beginning, it might be easiest for you guys if you're solopreneur, you're doing it yourself, saying, I'm going to just print it on Amazon and just tell people to go get it. That's great. And that's perfectly fine. So I'm not putting you down. It's a good model. It works. No, there's very few people that actually get rich off of selling books. So don't expect that to like replace your lifelong income unless you're running tons and tons of paid ads and marketing to scale that up. Okay. And so if that's the idea, if you have the understanding, I'm not going to get rich selling my book on Amazon, but it's going to create authority in the space, then the next level of multiplying your business will be recognizing that and going, okay, what's the next thing I can do? I take the book and I own it on my own website, and I build my email list and my contact list by selling it free plus shipping or selling it myself for 50% off or something like that. That's what builds you a business. When you go to sell a business, so here's just a high level tactic or strategy a lot of people don't realize when the beginning. You cannot sell your business in the future if your business revolves around you. So if I build scalability, and the only reason scalability is popular is because Aaron shows up, it's not worth anything to anybody else. Because if I sell the business to them and I don't go with it, it's not worth anything. Now, the only thing that makes scalability worth anything is a list of subscribers actively paying every month, a list of other people who have looked into it and aren't. The list, the contact list, is what makes any business worth it. If you know you could buy a business that is struggling, but they have 100,000 people on an email list and they're just not doing any marketing, you would buy the business because of the 100,000 people email list, because you could immediately start marketing to them and bring in a bunch of customers to scale up the income of the existing business that had the list. Now, if that same business is struggling and they have no contacts, no email list, and they're like, I want to sell this business. You're like, why would I just buy a business that's struggling on hopes and dreams that I can get enough people through the doors to sell from scratch? I might as well just start it from scratch and not have to pay you for something that you've already drove into the ground. Right? So even whether you're thinking about selling your business or not, I want you to understand the concept of the value of your business is in the list. So we have to be building an email list. Emails, phone numbers, mailing addresses, whatever, those all allow you marketing channels to go out. Does that make sense? Does it bring up any questions?
Well, no, not as now. So I will think about how to make that possible. So I was also thinking about the new book that I have written and I'm going to launch. If I could perhaps connect that book with an offering for one or two of the others, connecting that as an offer, perhaps.
Yep. And that's the value of the list. So let's say you use one of your books and you say free plus shipping. If you click the link below, you make it self-liquidating. As long as it breaks even, you're good. You're basically giving that book away for free, but you're building a list. Now come out and say, I've got these other 3 books that I've written. They're $20 a piece on Amazon. But you can send texts and emails and say, hey, I've bundled these 3 books together for $45. Click here to get them today. And so you make money on the offers you send out to the people that already have the one. Because if they have one, they're more likely to buy or get the next one, right? Somebody who goes to Amazon doesn't really feel tied to you at all. If they come to your website that has your bio and talks about your book and the only thing there is you and your book, and they get it, they've taken a step to come to your site. They've taken a step to at least read or look at some of it. They've taken a step to order something, even if it was just shipping and handling. They got their credit card out, they paid, and they received something. So now when you go back and you send them a next text and email, they're not like, who's this? They're like, oh, that was that book I got. Oh, that's cool. She's got more. Well, I like the other one. But you can't do that if we just run it through Amazon, right? Because we don't
Mm.
have those people.
Yeah.
So a lot of solopreneurs make the mistake in the beginning of thinking just how do I make money on my one offer? And you never need to think how do I make money on my one offer and get rich off my one offer? It's how do I take this one thing that I have and turn it into more money? How do I
Mm.
multiply what God's given me? I've got one
Yeah.
book, but I probably have ideas for others. So how do I use this one to build the list and then sell these others and make more money off the backside?
Yeah.
Because that can even be an upsell all at the same time. Grab
Mm.
my free plus shipping book. They put in their credit card, they pay the $6.99, and instead of going to a thank you page, it goes to an upsell page that says, "Hey, since you just got my free book, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Before you go, check out this other book I read. Add it to your order for $14.99 just by clicking this one button."
Mm.
And they're like, "Well, I got that one for free. So if I add this one for $14.99, yeah, I'll get two of them." And it
Mm.
averages out to like $8 a piece.
Yeah.
And so it can be an immediate upsell, but you're
Mm.
thinking, how do I make my money on the next offer or the next one after you collect the information from the person to build that list? Okay,
Yeah.
like if you think down the road, think long term of your business. How do
Yeah.
you make more in the future, service more people in the future? That's how you'll really grow your business.
Yeah.
That helpful?
Yes. A last question. I guess there's some other questions there from other people as well. But I was asking about to make a PDF file from my website. What would be best? Because I feel is that kind of unprofessional to do that, but I want the message to go out because it's the title is created in God's image and about
Mhm.
identity in Christ, and I think that the message is so important. So it's not that important to just make a lot of money on it, but I want it to be professional to, yeah, to have that
Yep.
image or just, yeah, for
Yeah,
it.
I hear you. And so this is perfect. I'm glad you said it like you did because I'm passionate about this and this is my calling is getting past the mindset that we as believers have. I've thought it, everybody else has thought it too. I don't want to make a bunch of money or just make a bunch of money. Here's the facts when you get into business and getting people success. When I got started coaching, I thought nobody would split deals with me when I started. When I started, I didn't have any money. I thought, maybe I can get one of these coaches to just partner with me. They teach me for free. I give them half of the money that I make. And everybody I talked to who was like good coaches in the field were like, no, we don't do that. You pay for coaching or we don't do it. And I was like, why? I'm going to do what you tell me. If it works like you say, we're both going to make a lot of money and I'll be doing all the work. You just have to answer questions. Everybody's like, no. Well, once I started having success with my business, making money doing the thing, because I actually do take action and
Mm.
it worked for me, and I was making money. This was with real estate. I went back and I was like, I'm going to help people get started like none of the coaches would help me. So I took applications for people. I said, I will help you 1 hour every week. We will have calls. I will coach you one on one, tell you exactly what to do every single week, and we'll split the deals. I took on 12 people. That means 12 one on one hour long coaching sessions a week, helping people for free to split the deals 50-50 with them when they did the deals. 12 out of 12 people never did a deal.
Mm.
I made nothing because they would not do what I was telling them to do. So I was like, oh, wow, this frustrates the crap out of me. So I was like, fine, this is why none of those coaches would work with me. Now I understand. And so I go, I'm going to charge for my coaching. Literally, the next person, I charged them $4,000 for
Mm.
coaching, and they did a deal for $19,200 in 3 months. And I realized that if you really want to help people succeed, you have to charge them because people
Yes.
who pay attention. People who
Mm.
don't. It's just a sad fact of the way people work. If it's completely free, we don't really value it at all.
Mm.
So,
No.
as believers, we think this is the word of God, this is God's message. I just want to get it out there. I would gladly pay a pastor to show me how to dig into the Word of God. And people go, but Aaron, that's the Word of God. It should be free. And I'm like, I'm not paying for the free Word of God. I'm paying for the 25 years of experience that pastor has studying the Word of God. I'm paying for his time away from his family to teach it to me. Like, that's what I'm paying for because it's important to me to actually learn it. And I know if I shell out some money, I'll pay attention and I'll learn it. And if I don't, I'll kind of write it off and I won't have time for it. So even when you're thinking about giving stuff away, don't don't like I say all this just to help you work through the idea of um, should I give it away just to get the message out? The problem is you'll give it away for free just to get the message out, and because it's free, they won't read it. And so if we charge them for it, even if it's $1, they'll at least look at it. And that's where we have to kind of shift our mindset is like, how do we do this? Now, all of that to get you to the idea of charge if you want people to actually get results from it. Now, if you're just talking turning your book into a downloadable PDF for free or even $1, um, those are called lead magnets, right? We say, I'll give you this free plus shipping book in exchange for your name and email and mailing address. I'll give you the PDF version in exchange for your name and email. I'll give it to you for free. That's okay, because you're doing it to get a name and email address so you can remarket to them. Don't give it away for free just because you think I want them to read it. I think that's the distinction I want you to make. If you give something away for free, you're giving it away because you want to get the name and email address so you can market back to them, so you can talk to them, so you can build rapport with them, so you can help them win. Okay? Like that's what I want you to think.
Yeah.
If you just give it to them, like, hey,
Mm.
yeah, great. Here's a copy of my book. I have a lot of books in my closet that were free that I haven't read. Doesn't mean they're not valuable, but for some reason in my head, I'm like, well, I paid for this one. I went and looked for it. I paid for it. I got it because I wanted to read it. And so I read that one when I have time. These over here were given to me because the other person was being nice, and I'm grateful, but I'm going to focus on the ones that I wanted first, and then I'll get to that if I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I know you're not wanting to just give it away just because. I know it's just like an internal struggle for most Christians. That's why I tangented
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, yes, yes, but because I did absolutely not mean to give it away. I wanted to,
Right.
of course, get get paid for that. But so I just the question was more like if it would be professional to make a PDF file, or
Yeah.
is there another version
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is better and has more quality looking that people want to still want to buy it. If I can do that on scalability or through my website.
Yes, absolutely. And so the implementation of that, take your book and basically you turn it into a PDF. So you type it up wherever you type it up, put your pictures and all that, save it as a PDF, download the PDF to your computer. And then when you log into scalability, you'll go to your media library and you'll upload it to your media library. Okay. And I can actually
Okay.
screen share and I can show you how to do that. But you'll upload it to your media library and then you'll have a sales page, a website that's like, click here to buy my book. It'll be delivered as a PDF, right? You're just telling them, get the digital version.
Mhm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. People buy Kindle books on Amazon, right? So it's just another form. It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
professional if you write it up professional and you put your pictures and your footers and all that. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that at all. Some
Okay.
people prefer it. I typically prefer it because we've always said, if God says go, how do I go? So God has moved us many, many times, and carrying around boxes full of books was not good for that lifestyle. So for the longest time, I'm like, thanks for the book, but I actually don't want it because I can't just pick it up and move to China with it because I don't take any of my books. So
Mm.
it's not that it's unvaluable; it's actually more valuable to some people because it's digital. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But create the
Okay.
PDF, upload it to the
Mm.
media library and scalability, and then on your
Mhm.
sales page, you charge for it $14.99, get the digital book, whatever you charge. It takes their payment, and then the automation is the workflow that happens. So when somebody fills out the payment and they submit the payment form, it triggers the automation to send them an email. And in the email is a link to that PDF that's inside of your scalability media library
Okay.
so that it
So
digitally delivers it through the workflows.
okay. So it's about 160 pages.
Mhm.
How is the pricing? It's a devotional book, just to give to get an idea about the pricing.
Yeah, so always going to depend on your audience. I have this conversation many times. And so I want to give context for everybody watching when I do this. That's the point.
Yeah.
Anybody watching live or watching on replay, I want this to work for you. So, because we could say, oh, a devotional book, anywhere from $5 to $50. I'm like, that's pretty vague, but it doesn't really help you. So, any business you guys have, who is your ideal client and what does your market or industry allow? So I started in real estate. Every digital course in real estate is $997 and up. You're going to spend $1,000 to $5,000 to buy a digital course. For coaching, you're going to spend $3,000 to $100,000. Everybody knows if you're in real estate, prices come in the thousands, and so they'll pay thousands. If
Mm.
I'm working with stay-at-home moms and I'm trying to sell something to a stay-at-home mom who doesn't work and takes care of the kids all day, she's really not willing to pay any more than 20, 25 bucks on
Yeah.
anything because she just looks at it differently. Doesn't mean one's right or wrong, but all of you need to look at who's my ideal client and what does my market allow. So if we look at a good way for you to do it, let's say the devotional book, jump on Amazon, search for devotional books in your category, and it'll pull up a list of them and you can see what they're all priced at.
Yeah. Okay.
And then so just run off of that because look at the best sellers that sell a lot. And that price is kind of like where I would go,
Mm.
or I would leverage it as a free plus shipping or a because it doesn't cost you anything for a to deliver a digital book or a PDF. You could even say, "Get my book for $1," and make people give you a credit card and the name and phone number and email and buy it for $1 if you wanted to just collect leads off of it.
Yeah.
But you can sell it for 14, 15, or 10, or just kind of whatever in there as well.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. That works for everybody's audience. So anybody, no matter who your audience is, think about your person. And if that person is sitting there looking at buying something, are they going to look at it and go, "Whoo, that's expensive"? Or are they going to look at it and go, "That's not bad"? And then why are they going to think that? And that'll help you price your stuff. Crystal, we've went through this with your book, and you actually had free plus shipping offer on the front side at one point. Do you have anything you would add or questions that you think are good questions for the discussion that other people might be thinking that haven't asked?
Um, yeah, all of this is so valuable. Like I have taken some extra notes in the YouTube chat just to remind myself of some stuff. But I do have the free post shipping offer, and we're going to run some more along with that. And as far as taking my book and turning it into a PDF, I'm excited for you to do that because I don't think I have my book in a PDF form to be able to use in scalability. So I'm excited to see how you do that to be able to use for those who are overseas or want to take part in the free plus shipping offer and to keep them on my list because I do have an ebook on Amazon, but as you say, like the values in the list. So to keep them, there. So I'm excited for you to walk that out a little bit
Yeah.
and be able to figure out how to do that.
Yep. And so, like we were talking about with you give them the free plus shipping book and then you upsell to something after. Crystal has labelbreakers.com. She teaches people how to basically break off what the world has labeled you as and come into your identity in Christ. She's got a book. And so for her, she had a free plus shipping offer, right? Go get my book, just cover the shipping and handling. And then she's launching a community where she's going to go live every week and walk people through this. Like you get to hang out with her like you get to hang out here, and she walks you through that whole thing. And so we're building that out for her right now. And the way we'll do that is she'll be able to say, go get my book, just cover the shipping. Somebody puts in their card, pays the shipping, orders the book. It'll take them directly to the next upsell page. It's like, hey, thanks for getting the book. It's on the way, but check out my community. And it'll be like selling them on the community. So in her case, that's just another example, right? Free plus shipping book gets you the list, directly upsells into a paid monthly community to where you create recurring revenue off of collecting the information. Make sense? The process and the strategy is, how do we bring people to an offer to collect information and build a list? If you've ever went to a free challenge, that's what a free challenge is for. The only reason somebody who's making a bunch of money does something for free is the list. Everybody who signs up, you get a name and an email. They build a list. We do this in our business as well. We've got a challenge starting the 15th. And we'll start marketing this whole next week. And it's literally, hey, it's free. Come in. We're going to teach you how to do this. We're going to give you the software for free. We're going to walk you through exactly how to do it for free. We're going to provide so much value for free that you'll give us your name and email because you're like, this is awesome. I want to see it. So then we have that list, and then we can go back and we can give everything for free. We can teach them everything, and then we can go back and send them texts and emails and say, hey, how's it working? Do you need help with anything? And we can bring them on in, get to know them better, and then bring them into the other stuff that we have, or keeping the software forever or building it for them. Like, we're all in business, so we have to learn how to use the strategies along with software. If not, software is just software. That's it. And you guys have probably all signed up for software at some point, couldn't figure it out, and then just canceled it. I don't want to just take your money while you run around worried trying to figure out software and then you leave. Like, that doesn't do anything for anybody. If I help you win, you make more money, you tithe to the kingdom. I make more money, I tithe to the kingdom. Together, we take more ground. So I'll never be shy or lie to you about how we are doing business, making money, helping you make money, and moving through that process. Any other questions? I know Marlena and MJ are in here too. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, sometimes sound works, sometimes it doesn't.
I think you answered most of mine. I'm headed towards, my book will be published in 2 weeks, and I think, and then I'm going to do a membership like we had discussed a while ago. But I need some ducks in a row first before I can make that happen.
Right? Gotcha.
So thank you.
You're welcome. This is a process. It'll constantly be dialing in. I think it was before we went live, I was talking to him about the first year of scalability and how we brought in and we had certain things working. And then we realized, oh man, people reach out through email and text, and some do the training and some don't. And then some people shoot me a message in Messenger, and some people post in the Facebook group. And we had to figure out how to streamline that into a process that we can do well and support people well and train people through. All of it, as you guys grow your business, the strategy you run people through is what gives the software purpose, right? If you don't have a strategy, there's really no purpose to the software. If you don't know what you're doing with your people, you don't need software to automate anything because you don't know what to automate. So learn your person, learn the process, the journey that they're going to go on. They're going to see my ads, see my content, go to my webpage. My webpage is going to tell them to get the free plus shipping book. If they do that, it takes them to an upsell to join my paid community. Once they're in my community, they're going to show up to my weekly calls. Then on my weekly calls, we pitch our one-on-one coaching program or our custom done for you services, whatever it is that you're selling. That right there is a customer journey. They find you online, go to the web page, they buy your thing, they buy the next thing, They show up and you upsell the next thing. The customer journey is the hopes and the dreams and the fears and the feelings that that person is going through as they find you online, get your freebie, buy your thing, buy your next thing, buy your next thing. How are you making them feel? That's the customer journey. How are you delivering it? Now you can go to software like scalability and you say, how do we deliver it? How do we build the website? How do we plug in the automation to deliver it automatically? How do we give them reminders to bring them to the weekly calls? So you can show up manually, coach, help them win, and then they want to work with you one-on-one or buy your next thing. And you're able to issue them that, right? That's your process, and the strategy and the strategy actually fuels the software. So then you just build out those pieces. I hope this was valuable. Does anybody have any other questions before we wrap it up? I can see some of the chat. I see some coming from Facebook, some coming from YouTube. So let me make sure I'm not missing any questions because these are live. So I do want to look at your questions. Like Crystal was saying, I see a bunch of notes, but not good questions or not questions. So that's good. Everybody got it. Ingrid, did you have any other questions? You have another product?
Yeah. Yes, I was wondering because those poem books that I have made before, they are photos on them, and I'm thinking about perhaps getting mugs with those photos so that they can order that, or it can be a part of a bundle or something like that. And I was thinking, how should the connection with the firm that I will be using, perhaps one in the States and one here in Norway where I live, that they can order. So how is the connection there? Do the customer say that yes, I want that mug, and then I do the thing, or well, how is usually done?
Yeah, so there's multiple ways to deliver, but you're talking about fulfillment of a physical product.
Yeah.
And that's either going to be it's print on demand where you've got a company and all you do is order it, they print it and they ship it to the customer, or you're going to order a bunch of them, you're going to put them in your closet, and when somebody orders them, you're going to pull one out, pack it yourself and send it to them. That's basically the two ways to send something out. So fulfillment is what that is. You're either going to work with a company that'll print and send it for you, or you're going to have to pay for a bunch of them up front, store them somewhere, and send them yourself. And those are basically the two fulfillment methods. Now, once you get to a certain level, you could have them stored in a warehouse and you could have people working there and they ship them. But then at that point, why not print on demand and have somebody else do it? So that's kind of up in the air, however you want to do it. You can leverage scalability to where when somebody buys it through your website, there's automated emails that go out to you or to your print on demand or to your warehouse that basically say an order's been placed for these items by this person to this address, and then they put them in and they ship them. So we can use the automation to send fulfillment emails and messages to your warehouse or to yourself. An order's been placed, payment's been taken, this is how you ship it. I would caution for anybody getting started, keep things simple. If you have one product, one offer, you're going to crush it in that offer. As soon as you say, here's 5 things you could get, people immediately get scattered and they'll won't choose anything. So if you had multiple things, I might say those are an upsell. So I might say, just get my book. They go and get your book, and whether it's free plus shipping, 15, 20, whatever, then they pay for it, and then it takes them directly to an upsell page that says, hey, we have mug, t-shirt, workbook bundle. Add this to your order for $29.99. So on the front page, it still is nice and clean. It's very simple. Just do the one thing, because what happened was you got their name and email on that first page. Whereas if they see the whole bundle, they're like, well, I don't care about any of that, but I can't get just the book. And so they leave. So if you get them with just the book, you've got a name and email, you can remarket. And then on the next page, upsell the bundle. Add all this to your order for another $5, $10, $50, whatever you want. That's the way I would do that. I would simplify the front side and use them as upsells.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I see a couple. Is my ideal client? your services cost what to help someone with the software? It depends on what we're building. Shoot me a message because I know you have me on. I know we're connected, Laura Lynn, on Facebook. So just shoot me a message because it's going to depend on what we're building for you. How does scalability work for a service business? Help a coaching business sell programs. So scalability is how we deliver everything and upsell. Doesn't matter what you're selling. There's a website, landing page, funnel, sales page, right? Where it says, this is what I do. Click here to book a discovery call. You get on a discovery call, you talk to them about the service or the coaching program, and you sell it on the call, take their payment through a link, and that's kind of how that works. The scalability allows you to build the website and then the calendar with all the automated reminders and everything to get them to the call. On the call, you sell them, and then you are able to create invoices and send them invoices through scalability. When they pay the invoice, that can automatically trigger emails, text messages, and everything to welcome them and send them onboarding stuff. So the scalability works for the sales page, the invoicing, the taken payments, and the calendars, the automated responses, the onboarding, all of that type of stuff. All of it can be done inside of scalability. Yeah, good stuff. And basically, if you're selling a coaching program, I mean, it's just like any other product. You're creating content or you're running ads to this web page where people learn about you, and then you're asking them to do something. It's either buy my free plus shipping book, buy my book, join my community, book a discovery call, depending on the price of the coaching business. So if it's a paid monthly community, I just put the price and sell it right through the page. If you're selling $3, $4, $5, $10,000 coaching programs, I'd say book a call or apply to work with me one-on-one. And you put an application where people that are serious will fill out an application with their name, email, phone number, answer a few questions. And then when they do that, they're able to go to a calendar and book a time with you on the calendar where you jump on the call, go over their application, and decide whether it'd be a good fit to work with them one-on-one. Then if they are, you send them an invoice, take their money, and then onboard them and take them into the calls. That's the way we do coaching programs. A lot of people do them that way. Cool. Well, let's wrap this up for this week. Every week, we're going to come back here at noon on Fridays for Freedom Fridays. And this is what the majority of these are going to be. So come here with your questions. If you're wondering, the customer journey, what am I doing? How do I sell my book? Should I sell it? Should I give it away? This is good strategy session stuff. If you just get software, it's all tech, right? And it's great unless you don't have a strategy. So just know these Fridays, that's what I want you to do. Think about how am I putting this to work and bring your questions here and I'll help you streamline that process. And just like I mentioned with Inger, if I think it's a bad idea, I'll just tell you, don't bundle it all up front. Use it to get the list, then upsell to the other stuff. And that comes from the rooms that I sit in and my experience over the years. These are the best ways we've found to sell and the mastermind stuff that I'm in. This is me passing that knowledge along to you guys to help you win, because it's a win for me if you stay a scalability subscriber forever. That's how I win. And so I'm adding value to our software by helping you win. And I see it ultimately as scaling multiplying my giving. I can only make so much money. Even if I make billions, I'm still capped at something. And so I can only give so much. If I could help 1,000 other kingdom-minded entrepreneurs multiply their businesses to billions and we all give, I've just multiplied my giving. That's the way I see it. So these will always be here as how do we help you win, and the strategy and the systematizing your business, and then how to plug that into the automation and the software so that it all works for you. Thank you for your time. I know time is valuable. It's something you can never get back. So I appreciate you giving me some of your time. Have an awesome weekend, awesome week. We'll see you guys next Friday.